unbox and take a look at the Russian campaign. This is the Deluxe 5th edition by J.R. Edwards. Cover art, Roger B. McGowan. And this is published by GMT Games, which was kind enough to send this to me, so I want to thank them for that. This is my first Russian campaign. Let me be specific. This is the first time I've owned a Russian campaign game that is in this series. Does that make any sense? Yes, the Russian campaign, the best I can tell, the first edition was 1974 by Jedco. There was a second edition. It looks like it's the same year from Jedco. And then Avalon Hill came out with it that had a cover that looked somewhat similar to this in 1977, and then came out with a second edition in 1978. So this goes back to the late 70s, which is about the same time that I got into war games. And I saw this, but I really never got into it. I started off with Panzer Blitz, which is, the Eastern Front, but I bought Panzer Leader and really kind of got into, or was more interested in, the Western Front of World War II. I started off with my history interest with this American Civil War, and then moved into the World War II, and then was mostly interested in the Western Front. Only later did I start having more interest and start reading up on the Eastern Front. About the same time I started getting into the Pacific theater of World War II. So the Russian Front and the Russian campaign was not something that I have always been interested in, but over time I started getting more interested in it and started playing more games on it. I mean, my first squad level game was Squad Leader, and of course that had a lot of Eastern Front scenarios and in Stalingrad. But I don't know, for some reason the Eastern Front never really stuck with me until later on, and started getting more of an interest into it and all the different aspects of it. It was quite foreign to me. So I kind of passed on this and missed on this. And this is kind of a classic and an iconic game. As you can see, it's got a lot of different editions. In fact, I think Compass has come out with an edition of this. I don't know the differences between that and this, but they've come out with an edition of this. So I really am interested in getting into this. This is iconic. This is kind of set the stage for a lot of people that got into World War II games, and especially Eastern Front games. And so really excited to getting into this. Over time, I did get into some Eastern Front games and Eastern Front games that kind of covered the entire campaign. And one of the ones I really enjoy and like, and I wish they would do a reprint at some point, is the Barbarossa campaign, You Alone and the Russian Front. This is a solitaire game. It was done by Victory Point Games, game design Gary Graber of Minden Games fame. And anyway, I like this game. I keep it in a baggie or in a clear envelope. It's got a lot of little bits to it. It's Victory Point Games, so it's not the most well-produced games. This was early on in their tenure, and so I really like that game, and because it plays solitaire and it covers the entire campaign. So I am interested in see how this plays out. This is not solitaire. This is your traditional hex encounter, but it's not overly complex, is my understanding. Here's the back of the box here. And as you can see here, it's got a lot of different charts here. It's got replay value. That's something new. I don't see that very often on box. As a matter of fact, that might be the first box I've seen that on. Replay value of 8, complexity of 5, solitaire suitability of 8. Very high solitaire suitability. So I don't know if they have a bot in here or what, or maybe you just play it two-handed, because it's not overly complex. You don't have a ton of numbers on the counters. I imagine you just have like a combat factor and movement on here. So there you have it there, and probably simple odds and the like. Looks like there's a lot of different scenarios and a full campaign in here. So you have the Breaking Storm, Barbosa, Fall Blau, Citadel, Bagratin, and full campaign. So a lot of different ways to play this game. That's always welcomed as well. You got game system highlights here, and you talk about the Russian campaign. Let's read a little bit of this right here. Deluxe 5th edition marks the triumphant return of one of our hobby's true classic war games design. Universally acclaimed as one of the most venerable and widely recognized games ever published covering the Eastern Front during World War II. I would agree with that. I just, for some reason, stayed away from it. This new edition of Russian Campaign includes numerous rules changes by leveraging the expertise and experience of today's leading experts and world-renowned players who have organized numerous tournaments, events, and online support sites. These changes reflects more than 30 years of player experience as well as outcomes from recent research. The end result is a perfect blend of the game's original core system with key enhancements and clarifications driven by the best gaming minds in the world. Players who have invested literally thousands of hours in both playing and supporting the game. So there you have, there's an example of the map and the counters. So let's get in this. This is my first Russian campaign. Again, that could be misleading, right? I've played Russian campaign games before, but this is my first, the Russian campaign. Compliments of GMT. Nice box here, typical GMT box, very sturdy, decent thickness. Then we have the rules booklet here. Whoa, that's a lot thicker than I think the original game probably was. We got an extra 30 years of experience is what they say here. So we got a rules index on the back here and your game contents. You got a little inventory there. The rules are 35 pages, including the rules index. We have game support and proposed variant house rules. So you got a little QR codes here. Design credits. Development notes. Here's an option flow chart. So let's see what we have here as far as, this is bonus material. So really, this is all from 26 to 33 is bonus material. Looks like there's some variants in the like there. And then we have some scenarios here, starting on page 24. So a few pages of scenarios. And then these are optional rules here. This 26 is optional rules, starts on 20. So it looks like we have maybe 19 pages of rules is really the game. So 19 pages of rules. It's dual column. There are images, black and white, and color in throughout here. There's some examples that are in different colored font. And looks like maybe italicized. So yeah, you got examples throughout here. That's nice. So really only 19 pages of rules with a lot of images, full color in there. Very nice. That's part of the deluxe edition there. So this is new to me, but you know, for several of you, this is old hat, right? You grew up with this. Cut your teeth on this. And I'd love to know your thoughts on that. For any of you that have played this, played this, put some comments what you think about this. What have they done that's different or new that you like or don't like in this version of it? The 5th edition of it. I don't know how they're counting all those, but there you have it. If they're counting it from the Jedco and Avalon Hill, maybe then this is the 5th, and maybe they're not recognizing the Compass version. Here are the counters. Let's pull out those. Looks like we got 3 counter sheets there. Typical GMT quality, very good size. They're bigger. I imagine these are bigger than the Well, I don't know. I don't know if these are bigger than the original. Don't have the original. But you have double-sided. They look very clear. I wonder if the GT, I wonder if that's the game turn they come in. LMD, Tula, I wonder if that is their location for setup. But very clear. You got some rail here. Victory points, weather, turn, invasion. Some air units here. So very nice. I like it's very clear, clean, and concise. Some more counters here. Got some airdrops here. Very nice. Liking that. Liking the way it looks. And these look like these might be more administrative type. Well, some units, but then some administrative type counters here. Some more railheads. Some odds counters here. Very nice. Then we've got the boards here. They're paper. I would imagine that the original Avalon Hill was mounted. They mounted everything. 1, 2. We'll get to those here in a second. We've got a, wow, that is a combat results table that even I can read, right, with my eyesight. I might be able to read that without the, there's a movement allowance chart. I might be able to read that without my glasses on. And I am almost legally blind. Here's the weather chart. Very nice. These are on a little thicker stock, but very nice there. Then, oh, this is nice. This is classic Avalon Hill. These setup charts. Here's the standard game. So you have your order of battle. So you can just put all your counters on here. Have this off to the side. Put everything on here. And then it goes onto the board. Very nice. The Zokbon or Simonich or 4X, whatever you want to call it, series has setup charts as well. It's kind of a, but I just remember that from old Avalon Hill games of having all these setup charts, and a lot of other games do that as well. But this is nice. This is the optional game setup, and then you got the standard game setup. That's the Axis. You have the Russian Order of Battle standard game, and then the optional game right there. Very nice. And this is decent stock. Then you have these are probably some scenarios here. Here's Fall Blau. So this is the going into the southern part, which ends up in Stalingrad. So these are the different scenarios here that I was reading off the back. So you have a little setup card for each one of those, or an order of battle card for those. So you got 3 there. Then you have another. Then you have a movement allowance and combat results table together. That's interesting. So I wonder why we had those ones separate. So this is two of these. So one for each player. Movement allowance, combat results, and on the back is your terrain effects. And then you have some other special zones, Baltic Sea, Black Sea, and air power availability. All very nice. It looks very clean, crisp, clear. Any other seas? Oh, this is interesting. I wonder what that is. Huh. Wonder if is that a sticker, or is that just a, don't know what that is. Interesting. Curious. I have a mystery now. Have a die, single die, and you got the inserts, which, you know, I generally do not like GMT inserts. They're really there just to keep stuff in the box so it doesn't jumble all around. I mean, I usually like the fact they have art in it, but they're not very useful, right? You can't, I mean, you remove them. If you're going to put anything in a tray, you have to remove them. But, yeah, I feel bad about having the nice art on an insert, and then you end up throwing them away. Anyway, so there you have that. Let's look at the maps here, and we might try to solve that puzzle that we had earlier. So these maps are going to be pretty good size here, I imagine. Okay. Got the black C there. And I am not going to have, so you got this, so somebody's going to sit on this. Well, it's interesting. It's written this way, but then the charts are reversed or flipped so people can read them from the other side there. So here is the southern portion. I'm going to have to go up Periscope here a little bit so you can see what's going on. There's just way too much map there. So you've got Stalingrad here. Sorry for the glare. Sea of Azaz, Rostov, Odessa. And then you've got some train charts, combat results table, and Black Sea chart here. Then we've got the top portion of the map here. See the Russian campaign. It's got a turn track here. You've got a Baltic Sea chart. You've got Berlin. So this goes up on the top here. So two decent sized maps here. So good sized maps. So this will go up north there. I imagine it just lays right on top. You got Warsaw, Minsk, Smolensk, and Moscow. So good size hexes. Leningrad up there at the north. You've got some holding boxes up there. You've got Axis replacement, off map units box, Russian surrender units, Russian replacement force, Axis surrender units. You've got weather. Again, you've got this whole turn chart that has notes of the months and some numbers in there. You've got the Baltic Sea chart, air power availability, Stukas, and Sturmovics. Having a trouble talking today. So there you go. There are the maps. Not sure where this goes here. It's the Dnieper. So, if it goes here under the Kyiv military district there. Oh, you're not seeing what I'm doing. So you have this terrain here, so I wonder if that goes over that. I wonder if that was a misprint on the map or something. So it looks like it might go, yeah, T26, T25. Looks like it goes right there. So interesting that wonder what that is all about. So looks like that goes there. So mystery solved. Don't know necessarily the cause of the mystery, but mystery solved for the moment. So this is what you get in a box of the Russian Campaign Deluxe 5th edition. Here's all those different scenarios. Here's your player aids. Here is your orders of battle, kind of setup charts. Here is a weather chart by itself. Here's the combat results. I don't think there's maybe this is just an extra one to have out there. It looks like it might be the same. So you got a little standalone combat results table and movement allowance. That looks like it's the same. So got a little mini one there. You get some counter sheets. The counters, I think, look, nice. I think they're still trying to retain some of the feel of the original there. You get a rule book, and then the box and a lid. So there you have it. That is the contents of the Russian campaign, my first Russian campaign. Excited to get this to the table and get you just my thoughts on this. As I said, I haven't played a ton of Russian campaign or operational kind of level or this scale of Russian games. And so this should be interesting. and to get into and see what it is. But anyway, if you have this, played this, have the original or any one of the other versions, love to hear your thoughts on what you think about the differences and gameplay and the like. Love to hear about it. Or if you even have the Compass version, love to hear what you think of that as well in comparison to any of this stuff. So anyway, that's what I have for you today. Thank you so much for stopping by. And the way that I know you stopped by is dropping me a comment, talking about any of this stuff or what else is on your mind. Just keep it civil. Anyway, there you have it. Take care. Thanks for watching.